Alright, this is November 13th, 2024. It's like 12:30 in the morning. A lot's happened over the last few days. On Friday, up in Hartville, they found Thanksgiving of 18 tape. Men were outside talking where I worked. That, where Melissa's kids got caught stating they wanted the house for Auntie Shell and Papa. Then later on to Flora, they made everything up. Well, when I went to John, he said, oh, Mom, Melissa, his ex-wife, would just have him make out something, because I said, you're going through a divorce and you're going to be moving out. But trust me, no one could ever say anything bad about you. Should have our church people make out something too. But don't worry about it. Nobody could say anything bad about you. I said, well, you shouldn't have said anything until I moved out. He said, well, I did, and since it's just going to be made up and nobody can say anything bad about you, don't worry about it. Those men were outside talking about it. Her one son even said nobody could say anything bad about her. What are these people doing? Well, today, well, actually it'd be yesterday, on the 12th, I had went to Shine. There's some ladies outside talking. I listened to Karen last night. They already have her son taped that no one could say anything bad about her. Oh, honey, they have Danny and Jen taped that they didn't know about the body cameras. They didn't know about the shower scene in the other room. They knew I had bruises, throwing up, almost passing out, including in front of the neighbor. But they didn't know somebody was drugging me and beating me and telling me to say stuff. They didn't know I was being stalked. Okay? They didn't know people were harming me. Like Jen said, I thought you were working too hard and bruising too easy. I didn't think about it. That sexual predators were harming me. And photoshopping shower scenes to make me look weird. They didn't know any of it. Neither did the kids. Christmas Eve of 22. There's a tape of it. They didn't know. Okay? And then I have Josh defending me. And the rest of the grandkids. Okay. I have Dixie tape with her permission of knowing Flora telling everybody how Mel's kids are nothing but mean jokes. Mean games that pretend she was laughing at. Okay? Well, those ladies were outside. I listened to Karen last night. They have her son taped that no one could say anything bad about her. And they're going on about everything they have taped. They said they're just waiting to see who would say something about her to find out who's involved in this. You better tell them not to say a word. So, then later on, people try to say that Will was in with that Pete drug beating, raping me. You don't want to say that. You really don't want to say that. You know, that where they told Ed at the Oakwood apartment, December 9th, 21, at 4 p.m., that all the tapes before were them and not me. And it's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here to see if someone would actually stop them. That's what the guy at the Hunger Task Force told him too, I found out later. When he came out and said, we always knew the tapes before were them and not her, so we never said a word. By Christmas of 21, outside, the truck guys are driving by screaming and stuff. And it's echoing down in the apartment. Driving by, screaming crazy crap. These people have tortured me. They have human trafficked me. They crushed my head and I got a dent. Okay? They've almost shot me. You name it. They've done horrible, horrible things to me. They're driving by yelling stuff. My hands are shaking. I'm smoking in my car and I'm shaking and I'm shaking. The guy that works with that comes up and said, no, this is funny. She's scared to death of those people. He said, I already told them that someone told me that all the tapes before were them and not her. And it's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here to see if someone will stop them. They said the guy at the Hunger Task Force, the white man bald with dark eyes distributing food, on the same day, he actually worked my case. Came out and said it. Okay? He said the same thing. It's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here to see if someone will stop them. Now I want you to think about this. I went to a criminal attorney. A criminal attorney. I told him what that agent said to me on a recorder line. His mouth dropped open. He can't talk to you like that. He can't withhold your money. Get the money for only working the case. He can't put restriction on it. He doesn't have that kind of authority. He can't ask you to stay quiet. He can't tell on you for calling the FBI. He can't bully you either. And he said, and Dave can't hire Pete or anyone on his own. And no one could be in your home before it. It is the Fourth Amendment. And it is the First Amendment. No one but a judge can tell you can't say anything. I told him, I said, my friend from the prosecutor's office said it takes a judge. He said it does. To put a gag order, it does. That he's only a higher police officer. He said he is only a higher police officer, and he doesn't have the authority, and he can't just say stuff. And he don't have the authority. He can't withhold your money either. So, and he can't tell on you. And a criminal attorney with a law degree even said a year ago, that agent does not have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. It's illegal. The money is only for working the case, and he cannot withhold it. And he can't talk to me that way. See, that's where my friend from the prosecutor's office said, Karen, he was only bullying you, so they get away with this. He said, the police know they can't go along with it. He can't bully you into false statements. He can't tell on you. He can't even ask you to stay quiet. I said, well, he already confessed. He told on me to everyone. He said, you can tell whoever you want, and it don't matter. He's only a higher police officer. It takes a judge. And the police know that. He don't have authority. He can't just make up rules. And they can't go along with it. And no sitting judge would sign his own arrest warrant of taking somebody's constitutional rights away, of freedom of speech. The Department of Justice or state would put that judge in jail. That agent was only bullying you so they get away with this. See, that's what the criminal attorney said. He was only bullying you. I'll put it another way. He can't date Lauren or Michelle, part of the human traffickers. And by the way, Agent John, you dating Dave's old prostitute? Dave's leftover prostitute. You're dating her? Huh? How pathetic are you? And then we're going to put it this way, conflict of interest. Friend, and how did Pete, being a drug dealer, know he could walk in that FBI office and you wouldn't arrest him? You can't work a case with friends and family. Because all the drug dealers are saying that you owe Pete money, and that's why that's happened. And I was to pay off your drug debt. He also said you had problems with prostitutes, and it's something that a prostitute is saying she got my money. And I'll tell you what, being a cop and a federal cop on a recorded line, you better think or choose your words of what you said. For someone told on me the night before, you liar. That guy tried to knife me or threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle. You liar. Was there a camera by the bench? I don't know. You say you're lying, I'll arrest you. There's badgering laws. Department of Justice, 1729. You have to take a victim or a witness or an informant statement if you believe it were not followed through, or it's an accessory to those crimes. And if the victim gets hurt, you're responsible financially and criminally for them getting hurt. It's right in the law. You want to put it that way? That's how much you couldn't call me a liar, and you knew that. I said, well, he tried to kidnap me before. And before I could say Terry Coverley seen him, you know what you did? You called me a liar. He said, oh, come on now. I met with that family in my office and all those church people. And I know they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and faking you got well while that family was grieving. It was a medication error and medical malpractice. And it was 6 months later that Strange made up a lie on me that had nothing to do with him. And it took me 9 months to get well. 6 to 10 surgeries, 2.5 years. Went to a bunch of crackpots for about a year to 2. Almost killed me. My whole body swelled up. Till my knees were popping out of place. The doctor had to prescribe canes and braces because my knees would shift out of place from the excess fluid. And I'd have to have my knees drained. Went into many heart attacks, brain swelling, seizures. To say you weren't sick then is a lie and absurd. And my thyroid and adrenal gland shut down. To say you're not sick at that point is fucking stupid. And where they're lying so bad, they say you have brain tumors and they're causing the symptoms thereof. Go to your regular doctor and they tell you how big your crackpots they are, that they were ripping you off, making you sick. It wasn't you weren't the first one or the only one, and they're getting kickbacks from drug companies to get off the medication. You'd be fine. They were causing all that. Then go to another doctor and they agree and they put you on fentanyl. They don't give fentanyl to fakers. It's 100 times stronger morphine. And muscle relaxers, and get you out moving those locked muscles, because the only thing's wrong with you is your muscles locked up from all those surgeries. Why I found out I do have heart problems. Left side of my heart don't pull as good as the right. So where I was talking to the doctor, I said, well, they gave me the wrong medication with my heart not pulling right on the left side. Did that cause so many heart attacks? She's like, probably. Okay? To say you weren't sick is a flat-out lie. And you knew they were conspiring to commit murder and attempted murder, which are federal crimes, and you're a federal cop. What is your sworn duty to do? Arrest them. Not make fun of the victim that they're trying to kill. On a recorded line. You broke the law. I know they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and thinking you got well while that family was grieving. It was 6 months later when he made up that shitty lie when he thought I was following him and Katie and it was Linda. You need to get rid of me real quick. It had nothing to do with her father running a stop sign, and more likely where Phil wouldn't shut up about defending Joyce. for swimming in that public pool that she didn't do anything wrong, and he got sat down, and Strange told him to correct her. Well, he didn't mean yell at her. He wanted him to beat her. And he wouldn't do it. And he publicly defended her up to the day he died. How he was defying him, and he'd never work in his church again. Before he'd say a word to his wife. He had a good wife. Well, why didn't he stop at that stop sign? They played with my son's vehicle. They drug him? They play with his vehicle? Or was it an arrogant stunt? But regardless, I had nothing to do with it. I started with Dr. Eli in November of 2002. By April, I'm almost well. The accident happened May 3rd, 2003. I'm not even close to it or my family. We're at home. Brian had to come tell us. I finished getting well in July. And Strange didn't make up that shitty lie on me till November. When Linda came up to me, I was following him again. I got caught. I think they thought it was you. I'm sorry. Be careful. He made it. It was a Wednesday night. He made it up on Sunday morning. Had to get rid of me real quick. Now, him calling me a faker 6 months after a traffic accident I had nothing to do with. Did it have anything to do with them? No. We just sat in the same church. He could have called me any dirty name in the book. But a faker, calling someone a faker, what are you, grade school? Now, think of the fucked up Vegas. Had nothing to do with her kid's death. I just went to their church and somebody called me a faker? Oh, that offended us. No, it didn't. They flat out lied. Flat out lied. It didn't offend them. 6 months later, it has nothing to do with them. Like my one neighbor said, that's insanity that they would want attention for that. Had nothing to do with it. Exactly. They lied. I found out, I had a client up in Akron, next door neighbor, about a month ago. Said, boy, we all found out it was a medication error. Medical malpractice made her sick before, or medication errors that made her sick before. It is medical malpractice too, by the way. That agent needs to get his facts straight before he puts his name on anything. The guy said, well, why did they wait 15 years to kill her? Oh, Strange ordered it when he thought she was following Tim and Katie. When he made up that faking, that thing that she was faking she was sick, he ordered her to be killed. And they were to try to kill her, and if she didn't die, they were to have her destroyed. And nobody was to say or do a thing until Dave said he wanted a divorce. It took him 15 years to say it. That's why they waited. This has been ordered since '03. You tell everyone not to say a word. They've been planning this since '03. That agent needs to get his facts straight. So, he said, where I told him he tried to kidnap me before I could say Terry Coverley seen him, he said, oh, come on now. I met with that family in my office. Now, think of that. It's 15 years later. And it's a baby lie that has nothing to do with them. I know they're trying to I have met with that family in my office and all those church people. And I know they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and faking you got well. Well, that family was grieving. It's like, look, I really was sick. You liar. Then he's like, was there a camera above the bench? I don't know. You say you're going to arrest you. I'll put you in there. You hear me? It's like, fine, whatever. He's like, ah. Now I want you to say you were faking you were sick before. That's absurd. I almost died. And if I would have sued him, I would have been a millionaire. If Strange wouldn't have pushed Danny to suicide, I would have been. The doctor encouraged Dave and I to sue him for 2 years. All right, moving forward. I want you to say you were thinking you were sick before. I really was sick. You liar, I've met with that family in my office, all those church people. And I know they're trying to kill you because you are faking you were sick and faking you got well while that family was grieving. You need to realize what you've done, and I don't blame him for trying to kill you. He actually says that he's aiding and abetting attempt and conspiracy to commit murder. That he's that dirty of a cop. That he's actually a criminal. On a recorded line, he had already been seen by hundreds, telling on me at Apostolic Church of Barberton. Paul Paymer, my ex-husband Dave, told our son that he talked to him at that church when I walked off. And the police were up there and they seen him tell on me. And he told Apostolic Church of Barberton he knew I was being drug beat and raped and didn't care because of Strange's lie. And if she was supposed to be mean to their women, he was going to turn her back over to him. That he was already planning on defrauding me and the government of money. It was premeditated. I found out the person I was supposed to be mean to was Katie, Tim's girlfriend. I hadn't talked to her in 7 years. Get your facts straight. I told you. What did Dave and I say hi to her in the mall twice in 2011, 2012? We all knew Tim and Katie were dating for years and years, and Linda wouldn't confront them. So why would we get involved? And when she started making up lies that he was dating her in 2011, he quit his church. And that's when I questioned him when we were walking to Macy's, are you dating that girl? Because she's already dating Tim. We all know that. And he said, Karen, she's pathetic, as if a married man would leave his wife for her. Making up that stuff, I said, are you dating her? And he said, Karen, I'd rather kiss a cow's butt than that ugly heifer. Well, I laughed at his mean joke. In Macy's, by the purses. Can she hear us? No. So how would she find out? Well, they've been trying to kill me. So he had to go to him and say, hey, I made this mean joke up about her to stir the pot. And she dared laugh in Macy's. Oh my God, she laughed. Because that's the only way he found out about his mean joke. And it was his mean joke. And it was back in 2011, not 2018. And he quit his church. Now, we're going to go forward. We started walking on the other side of the kiosk. We seen her at Ashcroft and Oak, so she couldn't say we said anything or anything because she's telling everybody Dave's dating her. And she's dating Tim. So I want you to think about that. Just avoided the whole situation and talked to her. 7 years. And the only thing I said to her was hi. With Dave in the mall. So she's in there lying. You need to get your facts straight. Hmm? And where would I be mean to her? Haven't been a member of that church since '03. I wouldn't have phone numbers, addresses. Hmm? Now I want you to think about this. And think hard. Somebody's called me a faker and another crazy person is saying I'm mean to them so they can kill me? That's absurd. My one coworker, her husband came home as a young man, teenager, found his sister had been raped and cut up. Dying breath. Told her who did it. He knew who it was. He ran out of the house in a fit of anger, hunted him down and beat him to death. Do you know what happened to her husband? He spent 21 years in jail for killing his sister's killer. Why? Because it's illegal to kill somebody, but in self-defense. So, just because somebody makes up a mean lie on me, they can kill me? Not in this country, honey. Now, I want you to think about how absurd it is. What he said to me on the phone. Okay? I told him I really was sick. You liar, you say it, I'll leave you there, but they'll kill me, so. Dirty cop, don't care victims are going to be murdered. Cults are trying to have people murdered. Think about that. He said, so. But they'll kill me, so please don't let them kill me. Start begging for my life. He's like, Sandra, I'll leave you there. It's like, fine, just don't let them kill me. Like they said, you actually listen to the recorder line, he actually says it. Some guy said he almost fell out of his chair. Another one said he came up out of his chair. Had lady investigators yell at people. We listened to the recorded line. How dare you people make fun of her for getting hurt. That agent confessed he told on her and the way he talked to her and then he let her get hurt this bad. There's nothing funny about this. No, it isn't. Okay? Why would the FBI help a person like you? It's his sworn duty. I said, well, they're going to try to kill me. So. They've tried to kill me. So. Give me a real reason. Premeditated murder isn't good enough for him. The other agent yells out the drug dealer, the rapist name. Excuse me. That Dave hired on his own. The guy that had been covering me with bruises. The reason why I was thrown up infected. The drug dealer. And like the criminal attorney said, Dave can't hire Pete or anyone on his own. And no one could be in your home before. It's the Fourth Amendment, the right to privacy in your home. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements and a court order. Not even the FBI can be in your home. It's illegal. Think about it. We could always use Pete's tape or wear it with yourself. The shower scene in the other room where they made a public fool out of FBI agent John that would actually fall for a stun on tapes before. Oh, come on. That FBI agent would fall for that? You're kidding. Drug confessions and photoshopping of washing? Are you kidding? I've talked to the police. No law enforcement would fall for that drug scam like that. I said, what are you talking about? The only Pete I knew is my brother Medina. I've never met my rapist, and he's still out there. Okay? He's part of the drug cartel. It's like a bad joke. 2 pimps and a prostitute and a cult leader. My ex-husband goes in and confesses to a federal cop all these crimes, and he didn't arrest him. And then he says something about Pete. Now, I've never met him. I don't even know who he's talking about. I said, what are you talking about? Stop, Cheeto, no. Well, I bet you're going to say you don't know anything about this doctor selling your information. HIPAA violations. No doctor of yours can talk to anyone. Without your consent. It was another drug dealer impersonating a doctor. Altman Hospital, December, was it December 31st or 30th of 23? My God. No one's allowed to talk to these people. They had some guy impersonate a doctor from Altman Hospital selling people's information. Why had some lady use my insurance? Back then you didn't have to show ID. You can call it in later. It's probably one of Dee's side girlfriends, realizing how much he was cheating on me. Found out she has 2 little girls. Yeah, arguing with a hospital about a bill, about a stay in a hospital. Wasn't mine. When we sat and talked, you have 2 little girls. It's like, look, I have 3 stinky boys. Well, their names are that. Those are nice names, but I don't have any daughters. I told you, this lady's using my insurance. Half my medical records are hers. And we got stuck with the copays. Tens of thousands of dollars she ripped us off over the years. Well, I thought maybe it was one of hers. No, it's a scam. A stupid scam of every law that can't be broke. I'm like, what are you talking about? Stop, Cheeto. Give me a real reason. Well, my brother-in-law, Craig, died working for the government. I tell him about it. First of all, have you talked to any law enforcement about threats of your life? I said, the only 2 officers I've ever talked to, I call them silly or stupid, that August 8th of 18, they came out with a light on the security system at midnight. They told me it looked like an alien orb or an angry spirit. I thought they were dehydrated, so I offered them water. He's laughing, you're kidding. I'm like, no, who talks like that? Then they told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. They don't want bothered out here. You're kidding, right? And I said, no. Matter of fact, I've never even had my neighbors in my home. I've only had family and repair guys. I don't know what you're talking about. Is that what's going on? Now, what did all he confess to? He's told on me to everyone, and he knows about the scam and the rapist. He's met with everyone. Everybody knows I called the FBI. Right? In his own words. And laughing at the victim, how they're being victimized. Then he offers to take me somewhere and leave me with no money. Then he offers me the informant program if I agree to get information on Dave and the churches. He opened an account with $5,000 a month, and then the immunity for life and da-da-da-da. Even when you tell, always put it back as if it never happened. You can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case, and you'll have that money to live on. But if you try to and admit to no wrongdoing, and I'll take care of everything in the end. But if you try to tell someone else you're crazy, no one will help you. That's why the guy at the prosecutor's office laughed till you had tears. The only thing legal he said on that whole phone call was listing you an informant with money and immunity. You can tell however you want. He can't open his mouth. He's only a higher police officer. He cannot make up rules that he has no authority to make up. And the police know they can't go along with it. It's illegal what he said to you. He can't ask you to stay quiet. You can tell whatever you want. Informants are different. You get them information, and you risk your life to get the government information, and they owe you for that the rest of your life. And it's for working the case. You don't realize, Karen, you're in one of the many witness protection programs. You could never get out. These people actually try to kill you, and they could wait and try to kill you again. You will be in some kind of witness protection program the rest of your life. And you get the money the rest of your life for risking your life to get the government information. He cannot withhold it. He cannot misdirect it. It is illegal. And he can't bully you into false statements. He can't tell on you. And he can't make up rules that he don't have authority to make up. And no sitting judge would take your freedom of speech away outside a jury trial, because the Department of Justice would put them in jail. Criminal attorney said that. Law degree, too. And the police I talked to. The police I talked to out of this area want to know why our police have not arrested him. And I'm going to put it this way. It is illegal for him to date Michelle or Lauren. Her being a prostitute and the Florida human traffickers. My brother-in-law, Craig, worked for the government. He was not allowed to be around any known criminal, friends with him, let them in his house. He was not allowed to go over to their house, or illegal immigrants. So would he be allowed to date Lauren or Michelle? No, it's illegal. Get the idea? Everything he is doing is a crime. Like they said, outside Shine Hair Salon today when I got my hair done. Those ladies, they already have everybody defending me. They also had Mouse Kit saying they were lying because they wanted the house for Auntie Shell and Papa. They also have Melissa telling them to lie, and they're documenting me in jokes. And they have my whole family, including Dave, defending me. These people admitting they framed me. They photoshopped a shower scene in the other room. Oh, and that Pete ordered everything to be drugged, photoshopped, and made up on me. And that they had drugged me and told me to say stuff. I had ignorant people mocking me. Well, they said they were using Valium. Well, it was Valium mixed with a bunch of other drugs to make me sleepwalk. They found a combination of it at Ohio Catholic Bank when I had to have a drug test. It came positive back for a lot of drugs. And I don't do drugs where they're releasing drinks and stabbing me with needles. Valium in high doses, it's right on Google, makes you sleepwalk for 10 minutes. There's like 20 other drugs. Just prescription, without the legal ones. But there was a combination of a lot of drugs in my system. Where they were stabbing me with them. They're fake sodium pentothal reports. They used it on the Marshall's kid too. I met a Marshall's kid. They roofied her twice. She don't know what happened to her. And I'll tell you what, with the Marshalls kicking ass down here, I wouldn't tell them what you did to one of their baby girls. She moved out of this area for safety. Met her at the storage unit. She got roofied in 2 different bars and don't know what happened to her. One night, she don't even know how she got out of the bar and ended up in the hospital. Took a drink at the room, went dizzy and black. Sound familiar? And another night, she don't know what happened to her at all. You better not tell. They roofied my neighbor Mike in the bar. The drug cartel was in the Louisville bars. One of the drug cartel girls was talking to him. Her boyfriend walked up and said, "Are you talking to my girlfriend or my woman?" He said, "No, you want my woman." And he's like, "No, I was just talking to her." Well, he ended up getting roofied. You know what happened then? He ended up coming up to me at 5 in the morning when I walked outside. I don't know how I got home. I don't know how I got this money in my pocket. I don't even know how I changed my shoes. Had him check his bag. I don't know how I got home. I remember the second beer. Go sleep it off. I got $80 in my pocket. You better check your bank. Well, I took $100 out. But what was in the box was the mustard in it. How did I change my shoes? No, I was sleep driving all night long. Huh? And tries to look at me and tell me he was a New York cop and thought I was pretty. I'm like, go sleep it off. He had no idea what he was saying. He was talking on his head. He found out he started telling people he was an astronaut and all kinds of crazy crap. I could have told him to say or do anything. He wouldn't have remembered. Huh? My co-worker dog got taken from a bar. Took a drink and don't remember anything after that. Found herself in a puddle of pee. People who had raped her and left her. Friend says she was talking and acting fine. She don't remember anything from the first drink. Playing with people like that is not funny. It's sick and disgusting. But it shows you the mentality. See, this is why you're not allowed around known criminals. Because they can lace your drink, FBI agent Johnny. And you know what? They can frame you, and then whatever you have in that little pea brain of yours, of any government technology or anything else, they can get it out of you. And they can tell you to go do or say something. Get the idea? See, that's why the prosecutor's office said the police know they can't go along with anything that agent said, except for listing your informant with money and immunity. And he had to have a court order for that. Had to have a judge sign it. And the only thing they can sign is money and immunity. Looked it up. They can add a medical card and living and housing expenses. That's it. Everything he was saying was bullshit. See, the Hartville police told people not to say a word to me. He told the cops he was only acting that way to get the drug dealers. They don't believe him anymore because they got all those drug dealers and he still didn't pay me. And it was a really big bust. They got over 800 in one swoop and 130 last September in the Summit County. And now I think they got another 160 out of Mansfield. They've been blowing the hell out of them. And they saved over 300 kids' lives. Well, these people are all around me that they work for the King from Texas, Gentleman's Club from Florida, Henry Mafia's Group, the California, Michigan, Buffalo, Georgia human traffickers, drug dealers from all those places, North, South Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Kentucky, all pronouncing their crimes here, laughing in my face, under police surveillance with a court order for an FBI informant. Like they said, she was part of a really big bust. Ungodly. And I got raped, I got tortured, my skull bashed in, I faced 6 stalkers, lived through a concentration camp of people breaking in, drugging me, and raping me. Huh? And flashes of faces and people hurting me. I still, at times, different memories are coming back of people hurting me in flashes of faces. And then it goes black. Different pieces of where I was so drugged up I couldn't see. I lived through hell. I was tortured. I was almost shot in the head driving. I had to hide on a shooting night. Drug till I lost 70 pounds. You didn't live through that hell. You fed a rape victim back to the bastards. Hmm? And you want to say you're stealing from a rape victim to give to Dave's old prostitute girlfriend that you had to pick up that was a leftover? How pathetic are you, FBI agent John? You are one of the worst criminals, and somebody needs to arrest you. And I'll tell you what, and I'm sorry, Sheriff George, is it Myers or whatever? Stark County Sheriff. They voted him out. People in this area called him a coward. Because where the FBI did not take care of this, they looked at him to arrest all these people doing this here. And I feel bad they called you a coward, but you are the next line of law enforcement. And I felt bad they voted you out. But people are afraid of these people that they'll do it to them. And I heard people say that they hope the next chief of police has enough courage to stand up to these people. I am sorry you lost your job, but I understand their fear. They made it public what they did to me. And all those kids being taken from this area and women. And thank God for the marshals showing up. They've been using that case that Adrian opened to blow the hell out of them. Showed up January 20th, 23. And Worcester announced their presence and they'd be taking care of this. And they were going to see where Maddie showed up. I got a friend on the police department. They knew about that case that agent opened with you. They knew about the Texas group involved in your case. The Kingsmen, because we all work for the King from Texas. We are his men. Dave hired us. He's a drug lord. It's a fentanyl. Do you know fentanyl will give you amnesia too? Did you know that? And all the other ones are Russian working in this area? Human trafficking people? Well, they knew about the Texas group. And da-da-da-da-da, everybody involved. My phone's tapped. Went through everything. They're going to use that case that agent opened with you to get those drug traders, human trafficking people. You have so much hurt and pain in your eyes. And then he drills me until I'm stuttering. I walk outside, they follow me. We're the U.S. Marshals. And we're going to be taking care of this. And then we're complaining about that agent leaving me there. 3 weeks later, they did the 800 people sweep. February 14th, 23, then April 8th, 23. Giant Eagle in Hartville. 2 of the big truck guys showed up. I walk in. They follow me. Will used your case to infiltrate our gang. Tell them to give your money. We're out of here. 2 of the cops who worked the case looked at him, laughed, and said, we actually did. I hate being monkey in the middle, where everybody beats on the monkey. Hated that game as a child. And I really hate it as an adult. Everybody turn this in. Like those ladies said, I listened to Karen last night. They have her son taped, defending her, that no one can say anything bad about her. They are supposed to have everybody else taped. They're waiting for someone to put their name on it. See, this is killing Jezebel. We visited Blaylock's church in 2016. I have friends down there. He said he was going to be teaching the service. It was important everybody be there. Asked David if he cared if we went to one more service. I don't care. It was so sick. They had erased part of it. We told our kids about how sick it was. We're going to talk about killing Jezebel. Get rid of your wife. Get rid of your children. Gotta get you. It takes the priest to kill Jezebel because they have no feelings. Get rid of the children you had with her and every family member. To get your new wife in your new life, you have to be willing to kill them. It was sick. You could hear a pin drop. It erased part of it. You make sure you would never have them in your life ever again. They only killed Jezebel in the Bible. Adultery was the least of that crazy witch's problems. She was throwing newborn babies into a fire belly god named Baal and burning brand new babies alive. She was a murderer. So they pushed her out a window and ran her over until there was nothing left of her but a hand and a head. She was burning people alive. Adultery is the worst of her, least of her worries. She was a cold-blooded killer, so they killed her to stop her, and they were scared to death of her. Okay? There's a whole big difference. And I wasn't no Jezebel. I loved Dave with all my heart, mind, and soul. Every breath I took, I loved that man. See, now getting out of the abusive situation, realizing what control was and what love was. That's not love, that's control. And him to plan that out with that minister since 03 to kill me and how to kill me while he's making love to me, raising our kids, our grandkids, living his life with me while he's planning my death. Evil on Satan levels. Yeah, well, in 16, Keith preached that sermon, and I used to tell my kids about it. Went to go online to listen to it. He had erased part of it. It was so bad. Well, everything started in 17. See, Dave and that crazy witch, you know, it's one thing. If Dave just wanted his freedom, he could have just left me. What would be the difference right now? If he would have just left me, he would have paid a little more alimony. I maybe would have got 1 or 2 more pieces of furniture. Maybe my puppies he threw in the dog pound. Or the furniture he just threw away when he fled the country forever. And never coming back. He didn't even get to keep them. Think about that. He threw everything away and fled the country forever, never coming back. Because the marshals are down here arresting people. So if he would have just divorced me, he paid a little more alimony. Could have went off with his little drug cartel life. The kids would have had 2 parents until the marshals arrested him for his crimes. And grandparents. And he would have paid a little more alimony. That's it. When it, besides harming me really bad, when it just comes to me and him, what did you really accomplish? You got Dave out of the country forever. Thank you. See, that's where even the drug lords that were fighting over this area, using this as a pawn, a scam, That one bet he could push me to suicide. He could be so cruel. The other one bet he could make me give up everything in life and have other people participate. Neither one of them won. They both lost. Why? I still have things from my old life. And I still have my family. Who gave everything up and fled? Dave. They both lost. Think about it. They both lost their bets when Dave fled the country. So what it, besides all the people they sold and all the little kids they, see, if I see any of them out, I report them. And I usually have a cop around me anyways, because there's a court order for protective custody. My phone's bugged from the FBI and the police. My car's bugged. My homes are bugged. My phone's tapped. It records if I'm on it or not. And the police have to document everything every day. FBI informant if you forget. With a court order from a real judge. Like the sheriff's department out of this area. Isn't that Karen Swell? The one we're supposed to keep an eye on if we see her out, make sure she's alright. Yes, there's a court order from a judge. Heard there's a group of Freemasons caught with the human traffickers under police surveillance with a court order. Oh boy, I can't wait to look her up. Boy, is he going to get his eyes full. See, if I see any of the riffraff, I tell them where I see them. Why? Because if they don't spot them right away, if they go up there and they look for them, do you know they found 35 kids in Akron about a month ago that they had took? I've been seeing all kinds of them in Akron. The human traffickers are up in Fairlawn. I see them. I tell them where I see them. They can go up and follow, and maybe they'll find more children or women they took. You want to save lives, start turning these people in. How would you feel if they had your child, your mother, your sister, your brother? These are actual human beings they're taking. I have met families, co-workers that lost people to them. I can cry over them. I can cry for them. I can't fix this, but I can report it and make it public. And these people sold the login the first month, and it went nationwide. I'll tell you what, in 21, they were talking about the case in Pennsylvania, Illinois, Virginia. Everywhere I went, people were talking about the case. It went viral. Where they showed up the first month of the case, or second, Will found a way of making more money off the case. He's selling the login for $25 a pop. And it went across the country. Report this. And everyone you know involved, you may save someone's life. See, people in this area are afraid that Michelle and Pete will do this to them. Because who's going to stop them? They think they have that agent in their pocket. See, that's where my one friend, I met him out in Worcester on January 13th, 22. Before the marshal showed up, he went to a drug dealer on a racetrack, and they said that agent over my case actually owed that drug dealer money, and that's why all this happened. Because how did Pete know he could walk in the FBI office and FBI agent John wouldn't arrest him for the confession of his crimes? They said they knew each other, and that he actually owed him money. And see, that's where the other drug dealer said he had trouble with prostitutes. And some prostitute is saying she got the money. What do you think about that? And that he's supposed to be dating her. It's illegal for him to date her. It was illegal for the way he talked to me. It was illegal for him to tell on me. It was illegal for him to bully me. And it was illegal for him to tell me I couldn't say anything. He can't make it up as he goes and just spew any shit out of his mouth and think he can make laws out of it. He's not that powerful. He's just a cop. Like the prosecutor's office said, the criminal attorney said, and the police I talked to, he cannot do any of that. The only thing he did legal was list you informant with money and immunity. He still had to have a judge sign it. Because he's only a cop. Hire one, but still only a police officer. He don't have authority to do any of that. He was bullshitting people. Start thinking. Dirty cop stealing in front of everybody. And lying his ass off. Part of the men doing as many crimes as they can to see if someone will stop him? I'm going to upload this.